Hello, and welcome to my Washagara's Chemstrike Commentaries, episode 3, and just look at this guy who's shooting me. I'm sorry, people say it takes skill to get a Chemstrike. No, with Christmas noobs on PS4 it doesn't. These players are just the best, and honestly, I don't think I'm that good of a player, but these players suck. I shouldn't have even been on a 2-gun streak, but yeah, they just kind of suck. So this is going to be my top 10 tips to get a Chemstrike in Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, I did upload my Chemstrike class setup video that I highly recommend you check out if you haven't already, because this class has helped me get every single one of my Chemstrikes. Not the gun, but the perks and the specialist loadout. The gun doesn't matter too much, but honestly, the Honey Badger is my personal favourite. Tip number 1 would be get comfortable. You don't want to be moving about halfway through the game because your back hurts, because your chair is made of wood and it's digging into you. Get comfortable before you play the game so you won't have to be shifting about when you're on that 20 gun streak and you die because you're not paying attention. Number 2, use a gun that you know well. It doesn't have to be the best gun in the world, it doesn't have to be overpowered. I'm using the Honey Badger, which, to be honest, isn't classed as an overpowered weapon by many people, and it has quite a lot of recoil. However, I know how the gun kicks, I know how much recoil it has, I know how many bullets it takes to kill at every single range, and I can predict how many bullets it will take, how long it will take, where I have to aim, and how to compensate for the recoil. And when you use a gun that you know all these things for, it'll make getting the Chemstrike a lot easier. Next, number 3, play a game mode that can make it easy for you. You don't want to be playing free-for-all or team deathmatch to go get your Chemstrikes because you've got to be quick. So play a game mode like Domination or Blitz, and I know that I'm being a hypocrite here by playing team deathmatch to get all my Chemstrikes, but the reason I was doing this is because over Christmas, all the very, very, very bad players, as you've seen in this gameplay already, were playing team deathmatch, making Chemstrikes almost as easy as if I was playing Domination. Next, no distractions. You don't want your sister's room where there's a hairdryer or loud music playing. You don't want the TV downstairs. You don't want people talking really, really loudly. And you don't want to be playing music yourself. That's just not going to help you. And this links into the next tip, number 5. Use surround sound and the perk Amplify. Using surround sound will allow you to detect where the enemy is coming from just by the sound. If you hone in your sound whoring abilities, you'll just be able to hear where the enemies are coming from before you see them, allowing you to prepare by aiming beforehand. This means that you don't need quick draw, you don't need ready up, and you can also go prone before you even see the guy. So this means that he will have a harder chance of spotting you while you're shooting at him before he can react. This will mean that gunfights are a lot easier to win because that guy didn't even realize he was in a gunfight until he died. Next thing, calm down. You're on a 20 gun streak. You're 5 away, you get a little bit shaky, you get excited, you get a rush of adrenaline, and your heart starts pounding a little bit faster, and then you die because you don't know how to handle the rush. Trust me, it's not that great of an achievement. It's just a Chemstrike. I know if you haven't got one already, and you get on that 20 gun streak, you start going dudum, dudum, dudum. Trust me, once you get your first one, that rush just goes. It's just natural to you. So, just calm down, and as I heard from another YouTuber, try and aim for something like 30 gun streak or 35 gun streak, because then once you get to your 25, you don't really have that rush until you get close to your 30. And don't count your kills. If you're like, my next kill I'm going to get is going to be the Chemstrike kill, well then you're going to start panicking and you're going to lose your aim just because you know that you're one off and your brain's working against you rather than for you. My next thing would be use my setup I showed you. Not necessarily the gun, but definitely the perks. And I also recommend using a silencer because that means you won't be on the radar, they won't know you're coming for them, and it will also mean that getting the Chemstrike will be a lot easier for you. You can use things like Control Freaks, but I honestly don't recommend using Control Freaks if you don't want to pay the money. If you have the money and you think, shall I not? Yeah, go ahead, they are actually useful. Next thing, try hard. You want to get this Chemstrike. If you think drop shotting is cheap, use it. Cheap tactics are good tactics, and they're going to get you kills no matter if it makes people rage and send you rage messages. Who cares? You're going to get the kill, they're going to die. Which would you prefer? Die because you used a cheap tactic, or get a Chemstrike because you drop shotted? And my last and final thing would be learn from your mistakes, or even better than that, the enemy's mistakes. If you run out in the open and then get shot in the back, you know that guy's camping there and not to run out in the open anymore. If you look at the kill feed and see that there are 2 guys on their team sniping, don't go in a long line of sight where they can snipe you. Learn from their playstyle, the weapons they use, and their KD. I hope these tips work out for you, and I'll see you in the next video.